Yeah, it stands out a lot over the years.
This is not, that's what the problem is.
All right.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, just thank you for the fact that we're here today, Lord, to just learn and to be able to communicate with one another in your word, Father God, that you've blessed us with a teacher, Father God, that has prepared us a lesson. I just pray that you let him step out of your way, God, and prove it, Father God, and you'll just help us be receptive to that message, Lord, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Lord, start my sister Cheryl says, "Is this shirt too little for me?" And Cheryl said, "No, it's going to be too fine for us." I said, "Not
So, this study that I'm doing this time, it's called The House of Kids, which, you know, all of our children have grown up, you know, except for Mr. Timback. So, and yeah, I mean, of course, it made with Sarah, you know, that's not, you know, Maria's done a really good job with her as far as putting the Lord in. And so on. So today we're going to do Psalm 127, and it kind of bounces around a little bit, but it all goes together at the same time. It's a Psalm of Solomon. It says, "Unless the Lord builds a house, the work of the builders is wasted. Unless the Lord protects a city, guarding it with sentries will do no good." It kind of goes, I'm going to bounce around a little bit. Goes to Matthew 7, just because it says it over and over in here, and it talks about each one quite a bit in different sections. This is just one of the sections I picked. It's 27. "Anyone who listens to my teachings and follows it is wise, like a person who builds a house on solid rock. Through the rain comes in torrents, and then the floodwaters rise, and the winds beat against the house. It won't collapse because it's built on bedrock. But anyone who hears my teaching and doesn't obey it is foolish, like a person who builds a house on sand. When the rains and floods come and the winds beat against the house, it will collapse with a mighty crash." And that's what it's saying. If you don't build your house, and your house is us too, inside, you know. If we're not built on Christ, then we're bound to fail.
Yeah.
You know.
We watched a program last night about sinkholes, places like that where they swallow up houses and
Florida.
yeah.
Had that one that guy died in.
Yes, it's so. Did you see that? Okay, well, it was on last night, but it's funny that you're teaching out of that right now because when we got together at the other chapel that we were in, there was a lot of confusion there because we didn't have any kind of church hierarchy as far as by hierarchy meaning like pastor, deacons, and the answer was well, nobody knows actually who's in charge, and the answer always is, well, God's in charge, but God appoints people to be in certain positions for other people to go through. So it was very confusing, even with the pastors.
Right.
And it for this ministry, when we put this ministry together, it was like we've got to have a structure, because when people come that we're out to reach, when the people that we're out to reach comes here, they need to come to a solid foundation. That's what we said the whole time. It has to be a solid foundation. They're not looking for weak ground. They're not looking for confusion. And it was funny too when we moved over here that if you ask Fred 2.0 anything about how this place was built, he could tell you. They were like, in like a 1 foot area, 10 nails holding shelves together, and this floor, just floor by itself, you know, it's been here all this time. And we were like, the good thing about knowing all these nails holding things together, the way that Fred's dad built this, is definitely a solid foundation just within the chapel.
Right.
You know, the solid foundation, just like you're talking about, you know, and all, it's all representative of people come here, they're weak. Their foundation is weak.
Yes.
And the church core foundation has to be a solid foundation like
It
you're
should be
talking
strong.
about. Because a weak structure can't support another weak structure.
No, you
I just-
can't.
I think it's pretty cool that you're teaching on that this morning, because that's something that's, I mean, it's like always on my heart.
What did you say Psalms was? Which Psalms?
So, 127.
126.
And then, there's another one in here that I went to, and it's in Proverbs.
Oh,
It's in Proverbs 16:9. It says, we can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. And there's a lot more in here that talks about the foundation. You have to be structurally sound. I kind of took it as me, you know, as a person,
Yeah.
you know. I'm not a house builder, so, you know. And then in 2 it says, it's useless for you to work so hard from early morning until late at night, anxiously working for food to eat, for God gives rest to his loved ones. So, to me, that's got to do with worry. You know, you're always worried. As a person, we worry about making the money to pay our bills, you know, food on the table, roof over your head. I mean, that's a worry that I have. I don't know if everybody does, you know. Solomon talks a lot about hard work being rewarded, but here he's saying, you know, hard work is rewarded, but you got to take time to sleep. And God gives us that time. And so I went to there's another one in I can't say this word. Somebody help me with this one. I was going to ask Marita and I forgot.
Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, that one. 5:12.
That's a crazy ass chapter. I mean, I just, I don't know.
People who work hard sleep well, whether they eat little or much, but the rich seldom get a good night's sleep. I guess that he's talking about back in the old days, because I don't know, I'd probably still sleep pretty good if I was wealthy, you know?
Yeah.
As a person, I don't think I'd change enough that it would ruin my sleep. I wouldn't have a guilty conscience, you know?
And see, that's you now, though, because let's say if you were to be rich now, you already know from your past life experience and the peace that you have with God to keep that peace and that peacefulness. That's where that sleep comes from, because being rich back in those days, it seemed like it was brought on a lot of boredom too. I mean, you know, they get so bored, they just order somebody killed just to have something to do, you know.
Right,
You
they
lay
didn't
there-
help. They didn't help the poor.
Right, and you lay there at night bored out of your mind, like, what am I gonna do next? But, you know, God puts us to work.
It just hit me, and I don't know where it is in the Bible. It talks about the guy begging for a crumb
Oh, yeah.
from the rich.
Yeah.
It just, I don't even know the whole story of it, but that's what it reminds me of, you know. And you know, we're not, nobody in here is wealthy, so we can't, you know.
Far from it. Well,
Except for Will.
in the spirit.
I would have to say that, you know, as long as I have God with me,
You're wealthy.
I'm wealthy. But that's because I put the importance of wealth in a totally different light now.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
My wealthiness is not necessarily how prosperous money-wise my family is, but it's how prosperous we grow
How happy you are.
prize.
How happy your life is. That's wealth. When you have a good family, that's wealth.
yeah.
And it talks about that even more so in Psalms 3. It says, children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from Him.
Unless you're tired and not getting no sleep.
Terrible twos. Gotta get through terrible twos first.
They're still a gift. It's still a gift. It gives you,
It is.
it gives
It really
you,
is.
you know what, and for me,
It is.
I was very, very young when my older children were little. And I like to say it taught me patience.
It
Didn't
does.
have much to begin with, so anything I gained was great. And, you know, with all the abortion stuff going on and this and that, that's a great passage right there. I mean, what are we thinking? Why is it okay to kill a child? It's a gift from God.
Yeah.
This isn't a pro-life, pro-choice speech. I mean, I'm not involved in the political side of that. It's just how I feel.
So I don't know if you were here when we preached on that one time here, and it was like, you know, so many times, and I'm not saying it's okay to run out for people running, and it's called fornication, you know, when you're running around doing stuff. But, you know, also in a relationship and things like that, and stuff happens and all. I have a whole different opinion, and I talked to you about that as far as what marriage is in God's eyes. It's when you commit yourself, a man and woman commit themselves to each other. And I do know that, you know, the Bible does speak about legal marriage and stuff like that. But why, especially in churches, when a young girl ends up pregnant, do we continually shun her, make her feel like that she's just the devil and her kid's a mistake? Why do we make her think that her life is ruined? And people will tell her, you just ruined your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and it says right there, a child is a blessing from God. If God didn't want that baby to be born, and I'm not saying God will make somebody get pregnant or anything, but it's just like Mary wasn't married and she was a virgin, and God, you know, she had Jesus and everything and all. And, you know, but because of man and man's corruption, Joseph had to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
So that other people wouldn't, you know, I don't know if they'd try to stone her or what back then, but see, he had to pose as the father.
And he did.
And you know, so that's just the way that things work like that. But to have someone think that, okay, I'm in a situation right now where this baby's going to come, not this baby, but this baby's going to come regardless now, regardless of who tells me what mistake I made. So why my daughter was scared to tell me when she was pregnant. And when she told me she was pregnant, I started crying because I had told her because of my health. I said, get out there and start having me some grandkids. I want to have grandkids. And she, you know, my daughter told me that like 3 days later. Now, am I happy that she's not married? Am I happy they're going through struggles? No, I'm not. But would I trade anything for Xander? No, I would not. But I told her from day one that baby was a blessing.
But, you know, it reminds me of the song Casting Crowns. She's running.
Yeah.
Because that's what the churches do to people.
Yeah.
You know, they've made mistakes.
Well,
You
and I still have people today tell me, you know, why in the church would you praise God for a woman that's not married that's going to have a baby? Well, why would you condemn her?
know, babies,
We
yeah.
praise God for everything that happens.
That's not our job.
We can't condemn. We're not supposed to condemn.
No.
It's not our job. As humans, it's not our job. You know, we're not to judge. I mean, that's that's way above us. Way above us.
Exactly.
Our pay scale it'll never reach that.
No.
You know. So, and then it continues on. It says, children born to a young man are like arrows in a warrior's hand. How joyful is the man whose quiver is full of them. That's, to me, arrows. You know, if you're talking now, you know, it'd be like a clip full of bullets.
Mhm.
You know, you're protected, right? A child, if you have children, Old Western, we'll go to an Old Western, okay? An Old Western will say 100 shots are fired, nobody touches nobody, right?
Yeah.
Because they're just zinging arrows, man, they're zinging bullets, right? Then you get the one good guy, he got 3 shots, he kills 4 people.
Yeah.
He shoots clean through one of them, because he
Yeah.
made his arrows count, right? So if we make our children count, and to me, I mean, this, I'll be for, I wasn't saved, I didn't go to church, not that I didn't want to, I wasn't ever, it wasn't really, it didn't fit my lifestyle, right? I would go to churches and they would look at me and go, you know, what's he doing here? Well, I didn't do a good job with my children. I didn't make my arrows count. You know, I didn't lead them into that direction. And I should have, but I didn't. That was me, you know. I wasn't led in that direction by my parents, you know. Paul, my son Paul, and my daughter Stephanie are not going to lead their children in that direction because I feel, you know, somewhere along the line that chain's got to break, and the only thing I can do is apologize to them for not doing what I should have done.
But you being the light though, you're gonna be, that would start changing them anyway.
So, with that, I went to, now I confused myself because I started talking. Did I go anywhere with that? I don't think I went anywhere with that. I may have, I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna skip back because this was something else I found in Genesis 27:28. It said, so God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. And God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and govern it. Reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and the animals that scurry along the ground. So this, to me, goes back to keep, you know, the word keep. It means to maintain, it means to hang on to, that doesn't mean to, you know, that's what we're trying to do, is keep ourselves, right? I kind of bounced around, I'm sorry. That confused me too.
It's all right.
It says, he will not be put to shame when he confronts the accusers at the city gates. Now, we're going to speak to our enemies. If somebody that isn't good or righteous comes to your house, you're going to say, no, you're not coming in. It's the same as us, you know, this is our house, really. And it's the same, if you're not going to let somebody inside your house that isn't right to you, you're going to say no. And you know what? There's no shame in that. And nobody can put shame in with that. Well, if somebody's going to do you bad, then you're going to say, nope, you're not coming in, you know. Well, but when we do that, we got to do it in the Word of God, you know.
Yeah.
Don't judge, just,
It's really funny how when God starts, you know, we always say that you come to God the way you are, let God clean you up, and let God make the changes. But isn't it funny how God will also change when we're not at peace with God, and then we start submitting ourselves to God and let God start making the changes. Isn't it funny how God changes our enemies into our, even within family? And I mean, well, just case in point, when you and I were talking about a family member that just couldn't get along with, and then, you know, God started making changes, and all of a sudden, this enemy is not my enemy anymore.
Right,
Because
right,
it's
yeah.
just, you know, it's just nice to, your enemies that you're gonna have when God works on your life now is gonna be, the people that don't like you because you're serving God.
right.
But then the other people that were your enemies before, they'll come around and see the changes God made. And it's not just us going to them and saying, I don't want to be your enemy anymore. They're looking at you and saying, why was he my enemy in the first place?
Yeah,
You know?
what was the problem here? How come I didn't see it,
Yeah.
you know, before? And then, because you have a different perspective, you know, it's gotta be God putting it in your heart that, you know, you don't have to fight all the time. You don't
Yeah.
have to, you know, and that's what causes most of it, I think, is you're searching for something you can't find, and you take it out on everybody.
Frustration.
It is, and it's a big hole, you know, and it's, you can't fill it, but
No.
nobody can fill it. That hole's made for God, you know. And the last thing I have is, it's in Proverbs 25:28. A person without self-control is like a city with broke down walls. Everything from the day back here, every city had walls, right? They were all wood, brick, well, stone, you know, but there were walls and gates. And who controlled the gates? The wealthy people.
Yeah.
They controlled the gate. They can say, no, you're not coming in. Yes, you are.
In power.
That was all was then. It was all power.
Power, right.
If you don't walk with God, your walls can do nothing. They're not there. I mean, they're there, but they can be knocked down. You know, that goes back to the first verse about building a house and solid foundation. Well, there was no foundations back then. A lot of them places weren't built on solid foundation. And the ones that were, you can still kind of see where they used to be,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's basically where I was at with the study. That's how I took it. You know, everybody can take that, because I could read it again in a month and it'll probably hit me something different will hit you with
You know,
it.
where you're at, your life, it will. When you said something just now, it was like one of them light bulbs just come on over my head, like one of them aha moments. When you said the rich people control the gates, well, about some of the wealthy churches around here that turn people away at the door.
It's the same. It's the same.
Same thing.
The Pharisees
That's
control
exactly
the gates.
first thing that popped in my mind when you said that was like, we have that happening right here in my own county.
It happened, yeah. And it happens. This right here should, if you live by this, you know, which I can't say I do because I don't know the Bible. I'm not pretending like I know this book. I'm learning as I go, you know. And this actually, doing this on Sundays, is teaching me a whole bunch.
Hey, buddy, how
Hey,
you
buddy.
Hey.
So, go ahead.
Uh,
We still got a bunch of time.
Well, I was just gonna say, you know, I think if you live to be 100 years old and you read the Bible every single day of your life, you'd still be learning from the Bible and not
Hi.
know it, you know it.
Yeah, Hi. Sunday. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's Sunday. Thumbs up.
But,
So, I got a little side
There you go.
passage in here. It's called Men, Women, and God, House and Children, Psalm 127. This Bible I have is called the Men's Study Bible. Okay, it's a little different where it gives you a whole bunch of stuff, you know, but it's basic. Like these Sunday schools that we're doing is called Band of Brothers. You know, it is what it is. I like the Bible. It does good. It doesn't give you the red letter. Said the psalm begins with the importance of a strong foundation for family. Unless the Lord builds a house, the work of the builders is wasted. The house the family lives in the environment in which the members relate, if that environment is not built upon fellowship of the Lord, family members will suffer. If your homes are filled with strife, anger, and selfishness, all of the work towards a happy, loving family will be in vain. We need God at the center of our family as well as our individual lives. The second portion of this psalm tells us that children are a gift from God. Granted, kids may not see that way in certain moments, like when you're tense, irritated, or exhausted, but in fact, they are a marvelous creation that God has given us to bless our lives and to stretch our souls. It is interesting that this psalm speaks first about the house we inhabit, and then the blessing of children. That's probably intentional. First, build your marriage relationship with God as the master architect. Then begin to raise a family. Give your children the benefit of an atmosphere already filled with God's love and provisions. So that's basically my story. I'm following this because I'm following this, but I'm not doing it the way they said to because it seemed a little dry.
Holy Spirit, you're doing great.
It seemed if we did it just word for word the way that they have it written out here, it was dry. It didn't show you the other stuff. See, okay? It didn't show you the other stuff, where I bounced around in the psalm, into the different chapters, Matthew, Proverbs. What is it?
Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes. I went to Genesis and back to Proverbs.
Can I comment one thing?
You can comment on
About what
everything.
you're talking about?
Yes.
It's awesome what you're doing. But this is what comes to heart to me, and I had to learn this to be trained in this. But when a builder starts to build a foundation, he starts with the cornerstone.
Yeah.
Everything is perfectly leveled and arranged by that cornerstone, right? Jesus is a cornerstone for us. Without that cornerstone, the foundation is going to fall. So that's the same thing in building, right? It's the exact same thing. So from the start of that, the family comes in. The family, if you got a strong foundation, can withstand anything that Satan tries to throw at it and break it up. Because that's his whole purpose. He's the accuser's, what is it? I'm studying about this, about the courts in heaven, okay? Because God is the judge, and Satan is the accuser, and how it all structured out. But his purpose and his goal in life is to destroy you. And he will do whatever he can do to try to destroy you. And the Bible talks about throwing fiery darts at us through the shield of faith. All that starts with the cornerstone. There is no solid foundation without that cornerstone. Start.
That's true.
raising a family or anything,
Yeah.
job, and walking in your purpose, you cannot, your true purpose is hard to establish if you don't have a strong cornerstone. Right? Am I making sense there?
Yes, that's, what you're saying is absolutely true, and it's, yeah, that's what he's saying, and he says without that cornerstone, they will, I did it backwards. You know, my children didn't come after I started to learn about this. You know.
Same with me.
And it's hard to, it is, it's hard. Now it's gonna be harder for me to bring down that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But God will.
God, yeah, it's not for me to bring.
Yeah.
It is. You're right, it is. So that was my little study for Sunday school. I'd like to tell you next week will be better. I haven't looked at it yet. Oh yeah, it'll probably be better. This one, what I did, now you guys remember last week I did Esau. And since I've done that, I've learned so much more about him in the Bible. I've heard about it. And every time it comes up, I'm like, oh, something new. So,
Jacob.
yeah. And I went a little further than what the Bible study, you know, what I did in the Bible study with it, or with the Sunday school with it. And I learned even more. So maybe this next one that we do next week will be the same way, because it'll be another someone you should know, which would be, it seems like every other week we're doing a someone you should know. And I could go on, this Bible has stuff in it from people that you should know, and it's a big side marker right here is Stephen. You know, which we could continue on, I guess, after I'm done with what it has outlined, and if you wanted to, it's up to you guys. Or you can fire me. Either way.
Got your haircut, didn't you, buddy?
Yes, ma'am.
The
Thank
message
you.
that I'm giving today, if they fire you for yours, they have to fire me for mine, because it's gonna go right along the lines of exactly what you were just doing. And I've even got some stuff from the Old Testament, and some of the same chapters that you're in is already done. We didn't talk this week.
No, we haven't talked hardly at all this week.
No. I started texting him, saying, "Are you mad at me?"
Just work has been so scrambled.
We've been so busy. I just have to miss my buddy.
Hey Tim,
Yeah,
any chance you would like to close us out?
I can.
Are you
Hang on.
too busy, or are you?
Well, I am kind of in the middle of something.
All right. How about Mr. G?
Sure, be glad to.
Thank you.
First of all, I just want to say thank you, Father, for among us. Today is the day that Jesus died on the cross for us. Today is the day we even have the opportunity to sit here and have this discussion and learn from your word and be able to sit at the supper table with you, Lord. And your word is the power. It's all in your word. And I thank you for this Bible study, and thank you for James conducting it for us. And I just ask right now that we understand and walk in your light and your love in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen. Okay, I've got this part.
So,
figured out.
I'm not nearly as long-winded as Marita.
Wax with today.
She can hear you.
Palm Sunday. I got that wrong.
Today is
Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday.
Yes. Today's the day when you rode in on the donkey.
Yes.
Amen.
Next week.
Next week.
Easter.
Yeah. I got that wrong. All
Look
day.
at my buddy.
You got your buddy with his little spiked hair.
Hey, what's up, my man?
What the?
So,
Now, I'm not gonna brag or anything, but I cut his hair. I give him a haircut.
What?